Alright, so I'm going to spall this, I don't know, it's probably like a 40, 50-pound boulder of pinhead coral here. Looked pretty solid throughout, so I figured I'd try to do this on film real quick. Show people how I get it done. Got a whole bunch of spalling that's been happening around here. But biggest thing for me, this is raw and it's tough rock. So you want to use an anvil or something hard underneath the rock so that you get a more solid hit when you actually hit this. So I broke my safety glasses, so I'm using sunglasses in the shade. But that's the reason for that. So this has been a good anvil so far. It's just another head of coral. It's kind of flat. So I will go ahead. We're gonna just prop a corner up on here. Try to stay behind this rock. I think you can see it, so do my best on this. It's already open here. Might as well just knock this side off. That'd be a good start. You want enough of it up that it's gonna not impact basically the flake travel, even though it's not really a flake. So I'm gonna go ahead and not wallop it, but just give it a nice little crack here. Just get into it. That flattened that face off. We didn't get a lot of usable material, but it took that off, and boy, that's gonna be nice and red when we're done with it. There's a natural crack right here in this seam, so I'm going to try to knock this portion off, and then we can get at this and take this back off this way. Look at that. Already came off perfect. See, that's a professional right there. You just look at it, think real hard, boom, it falls off. Again, this is going to be really nice rock. I don't even, maybe a little imperfection there, but it looks pretty solid. Alright, let's go ahead and take this bottom hunk off right there. Looks like the low spot on this. And I think the biggest thing to say when spalling is just make sure you hit enough into the rock. It's not like removing flakes. We want to take a hunk off. So it's almost like doing a big zigzag on it. I actually want to hit this off. It looks better. So it takes a little bit of positioning, but again, take your time and get what you want. Move to this side of it so I don't slash my leg open. And that cracked it right here. At least I thought it did. There we go. Alright, so we got this hunk off here. A lot of times rocks have a little bit of internal fracturing. This isn't bad at all. There's a weird seam right here. You can kind of try not to cut myself here. You can kind of see those seams on the outside of the rock. You see this crack right here, here. Sometimes they're only skin deep, sometimes they're a little deeper. But that's a nice big hunk of pinhead. It looks like the only seam is right here, a centimeter into it, and then you got a nice solid piece. Looks all solid from the side. So happy with that one. Happy with this one. Nice little hunk. Again, you can make a big 6-inch, 7-inch Noonan out of that. All solid. So far, the real waste has been these two little pieces. Nice and translucent. Use that as a little cutter or something, but we haven't wasted too much so far, so that's good. Now I actually think this, if you took your time on it, you could work that cortex off of there. All right, let's go back at it. It's pretty apparent to me. We're just gonna hit here and go down and take that hunk off. At least from where I'm sitting, that's what looks good. We don't wanna just hit the end here. We wanna hit in there. Let's see here. Got a nice big fat hunk. That's gonna make a nice point. again. Boy, that thing's sharp. Wear a glove if you're gonna touch it. You see this crack right here? But all the rest of the material is great. That's just something you're gonna work around if you're dealing with this rock. So I can see which side of the center line we need to hit. This side, this way. So let's set it up. There's a little mini fracture right there, but we're gonna try to just take that hunk off and see how much of it's good. And yeah, I should be wearing blue jeans, okay? But always cut away from yourself, always hit away from yourself. There we go. These are that little superficial crack that I said was sitting right there. That's what these little pieces are, but we're still good. You can almost see this little one too. So if you wanted to use that, that's a nice raw flake there for something. Now we ought to be a little more solid. And again, this is where the anvil really comes in handy. Nice big hunk. And yeah, I'm not perfect, but hey, they're coming off good. Looking at this thing now, this hunk is the next one. Down here, taking that off. Could probably do this a little different angle here, like this. Boom. Nice big spall. Should do good. You can see where it just came right off of there. Probably could have gone a little thicker, but doing what we can. So I'm gonna hit this right here. And this is, looks like it was already kind of mineralized there, so it's probably a crack that was open. I'm gonna hit here, we're gonna take that hunk off. Might have gone a little thin on that. Definitely still a workable piece, but another little workable piece. Try to keep them big. Just a little side nodule. All right, so we're getting into what looks like a big core here, and we're just working through it. I'm gonna go ahead and take it here and go down. See if I can get that off, because it's already exposed here, and if you can hit where it doesn't have cortex, you're a lot more likely to get that hunk off. Let's see this other side. It might be better to hit it here first. Take this off the end. Let's try that. There we go. Another nice spall. Looks kind of cracky out here, but I think you just take that edge down and knock that hump off. You got yourself a really nice spall. Not bleeding yet, so hey. Probably wear a glove on this hand. I slip a lot when I have a glove on my hammering hand, so this thing is definitely not as big as it was. Trying to look for the best spot to take. This is going to be a nice piece here. We just got to get it off. I think it's going to be here down. Take that off. And I'm not always right, but we're going to try. Just knock a little sharp edge off here so I don't cut my hand off. All right, hit where you got to hit. Got it. Clean. Clean. Ooh, almost touched that. Clean. Just hurt me. All right, so that's another good one. These are all big points you can make out of that. A little bit of waste. Not too bad though. I'll come up and show all the waste afterwards. Start with good rock. It's actually not so bad. You start with crappy rock, you can imagine this is much harder because the flakes don't travel, especially when it's raw. And some of these rocks are so big. Again, that was huge. You're not getting that in a, well, anything I have, a roaster or anything like that. I don't have a kiln big enough. So, all right, I'm gonna try to take this last hump off here. There's a natural seam right there. I'm gonna hit it here, try to take that off. Seam runs here, here, all the way around. So it's almost, ooh, might start bleeding there. It's almost naturally already wants to come off. Now I'm gonna go down on this sucker. We're at that point, it's almost like a blade core. So we're gonna hit right here. And we got a nice long, kind of a blade core flake. But we could do something with that, okay? You can definitely do something with that. Ugh. And then here at the end, this is big enough we could heat. So if we want to, we could heat this and just go for something good in the middle, which is kind of previously, that's what this is. It's just the core of one of these after spalling. Heated it, works great. That's what this is. And again, another core. So not gonna work as good as the spalls on the outside because those are agatized a little better, but they still work good if it's a good piece of coral. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave this like this until I heat treat it, and then I'm just gonna kind of smack that down with a solid copper bopper instead of the big spalling hammer, because this is workable. I can get this in a turkey roaster. I can get this in a kiln. I'm gonna grab the camera now and just bring it over here so we can look at the total haul.